a hit show. Human bodies, skinned, trimmed, and essentially pickled or cured in plastic.
It's a mind blower. Everyone should come see it.
Every vein, muscle, organ, and bone of what was once a real person, carefully preserved in ways that were not possible before.
I was a little leery about coming, and then as I got here, I thought it was fantastic.
The bodies are put on display in a full range of poses. Running with a football, throwing a baseball, shooting a basket. There's even a plasticized pregnant woman, her fetus plasticized too.
As the patrons in the 2020 video pointed out, the featured exhibit entitled Bodies, the Exhibition can be quite a learning experience. But just where did these people on display come from? No one is telling. Today we will discuss why it is unethical to display undocumented human remains to the public for commercial profit. In 2007, this exhibit came to North Carolina. As this exhibit still travels the country, I wish to speak out against it now, just as I did then. So this afternoon, we will talk about how the dehumanizing process of plastination is done, as well as address the ethical questions sparked by Premier Exhibition's traveling circus of undocumented corpses. Plastination of human bodies is at the root of these human anatomy shows. According to LiveScience.com, the process is the brainchild of German scientist Gunther von Hopkins. After death, an embalmed body is drained of its natural fluids and injected with a polymer solution. The body is posed and then hardened into a permanent position. The original purpose of the plastination process was to allow medical students to work with unique human bodies instead of computer models. Von Hopkins began a touring exhibit of his cadavers entitled Body Worlds in 1996. According to a report done by National Public Radio, a professor was hired by the California Science Center to investigate Body Worlds before its U.S. debut in 2004, ensuring that all of the specimens on display in the exhibit were consenting individuals who donated their bodies. This thorough inspection did not continue when a similar show began a few years later. The plastination process exploded within years of von Hopkins' profitable show, giving rise to a competing exhibit called Bodies, the Exhibition. Run by the company Premier Exhibitions, this show uses illegitimately obtained corpses. Roy Glover, a spokesman for Bodies, the Exhibition, told NPR that its cadavers, all from China, did not come from willing donors. Instead, these are so-called unclaimed bodies. From a cultural standpoint, it would likely be quite difficult to acquire willful donations among the Chinese public. Chinese-American Assemblywoman Fiona Ma, who has written legislation against this exhibit, explained to ABC's 2020 that considering the strong superstitions that Chinese have about death, she just does not believe that any family would give consent to having their kin shown in this way. What's most chilling, however, is that the origins of the remains are widely suspected to be executed prisoners. In the same ABC 2020 investigation, Professor Todd Olson, president-elect of the American Association of Clinical Anatomists, says that the humans on display were healthy, robust individuals when they died. Individuals who died in the prime of their life, quite clearly not of natural causes. ABC also unearthed these photos, which I caution you are graphic, taken by a man who provided documentation that he formerly worked as a delivery man for Premier's Supply. He took these pictures on his first visit to a prison to pick up the remains, which were sold for about $200 per body. Investigations into the prison scandals are ongoing, but regardless of their findings, the use of undocumented bodies is still unethical. Premier's Bodies, the Exhibition is wrong for several reasons. Now, it's certainly arguable that there are educational benefits from having the opportunity to observe the inner workings of the human anatomy firsthand. As mentioned in the book, The Greatest Human Deception, the chief medical advisor for the Bodies at the Exhibition contends that the primary goal of the exhibition is education, to help both children and adults better understand the mysteries and the wonders that lie beneath their skin. It is educational, definitely. But what else does displaying these anonymous human remains for profit teach? Well, as a 20-year-old who visited the exhibit told LiveScience.com, you almost forget that they're real. In the Bodies, the Exhibition show, it is certain that these people, stripped of their skin and with it their identity, did not give consent for their remains to be displayed for other people's profit. This creates an eerie precedent. If someone is adequately dehumanized, their basic rights cease to matter. We saw this exact same principle in the concentration camps of Hitler's Europe, and the fact that it's resurfacing in our own country gives cause to great concern. The rights of the individual after death are shown to be worthless. Take, for example, the pregnant woman featured in the show. Her family likely has no idea what happened to her and her unborn child, no clue that thousands of strangers pay money to a major corporation in order to gawk at her lifeless body each and every day. Regardless of your religious beliefs, such blatant exploitation is unarguably tragic. There's no one to speak out for this woman and her baby, nor can she speak out for herself. As a result, she is completely taken advantage of. If Premier Exhibitions agreed to provide a paper trail confirming that each specimen came from a willing donor, their exhibit would be far less morally troubling. But until that point, continuing to allow them to make money on anonymous, non-consenting individuals, as we've discussed today, is extremely unethical and should be illegal. I hope that if you encounter one of the bodies the exhibition shows in your future, you will think twice before patronizing it. As Dr. Howard Markell of the University of Michigan told in